Hello students, how are you all? Today we are going to talk about William Cowper's poem on the receipt of my mother's picture. In our last 4 videos we have already read a larger part of this poem, and today we are going to talk about the rest of the part which is still remaining. Thou as a gallant bark from Albion's coast, the storms all weathered and the ocean crossed, shoots into port at some well-heavened isle, where spices breathe and brighter seasons smile. There sits quiescent on the floods that show her beauteous form reflected clear below. While airs impregnated with incense play, around her fanning light her streamers gay, so thou with sails how swift hast reached the shore, where tempests never beat nor billows roar, and thy loved consort on the dangerous tide of life long since has anchored at thy side. So in these lines, Cowper says that just as a stout ship, a firm ship, a strong ship, sailing from England and reaching after a rough tempestuous voyage the harbour of some spice, some oriental place, island in the east, rides safe and sound on the placid bosom of the waters which reflect her beautiful image, being fanned around by fragrant breezes which waved her gay-coloured flags. So the poet's mother, after a short and swift voyage through life, has at last got to heaven. The poet here imagines that after her death, his mother has gone to heaven. She is now resting there. She is now in God's lap, in the great Father, the God. He is taking care of his mother. So in heaven there are no more calamities. Calamities are part of human life. Calamities means problems, natural problems, storms and earthquakes. And these are the natural calamities. So calamities are part of human life. But in heaven there are no more calamities. On earth there are miseries. A human being suffers from many kinds of pain, from ailments. So on earth man is subject to miseries, ailments and suffering. But in heaven there is no such thing. There is perfect bliss. The poet's father, who was a dear companion or helpmate of his mother in the world, who also passed away, the poet says that both his father and mother, they have joined again each other they are now in reunion in heaven. So in heaven they are in a perfect bliss, free from any misery, free from every kind of pain which is usually found on earth. So, and also they are in a perfect peaceful condition in heaven. So as a critical note, the poet is quoting here from Goethe's poem The Dispensary, but the quotation is perhaps from memory, for Goethe's words are, where billows never break nor tempests roar. So these lines are from Goethe's poem Albion. Albion is an ancient name, is an old name of Britain, of England. Britain was called Albion in ancient times. So in these lines the poet talks about his mother as well as his father, and he says that they are now in perfect bliss, in a peaceful condition in heaven, and they are free from earthly sorrows and miseries. But me scarce hoping to attain that rest, always from port withheld. Always distressed, me howling winds drive, devious tempest tossed, sails ripped, seams opening wide and compass lost, and day by day some current's thwarting force sets me more distant from a prosperous course. The poet here believes that his ship of life, now he is comparing, it is metaphorical, that he is comparing his life. He is comparing his life with the form of a ship. He says that his ship of life is driven out of a happy course by strong winds and tempests. Its sails are torn and its masts broken. This is what is the condition of a ship during a storm. When a storm comes, very strong winds they blow, and they very strong winds blow, and the ship is broken. Sometimes it is torn, all its different kinds of clothes on the ship, and the masts, the wooden bars which can be seen on older ships. In older days, during the medieval time, ships were made in that way, which you might have seen in television programs and in movies, in Hollywood movies of that time. So the poet says that he believes that his ship of life is driven out of a happy course by strong winds and tempests. Now this is the time for the ship to tear apart. Its sails are torn and its masts are broken. The poet says that he has scarcely any hope of reaching that happy and peaceful shore, heaven, where are his mother and father both, where his parents have already reached. He is kept back from port and is always in distress. The poet has this distress, this anxiety on his mind, that whether or not he will be able to reach heaven, and whether or not he will be able to meet his parents who have already gone there before him. Tempests and torn sails do not let his ship of life progress. The seams of his ship are open and even the compass is lost. Every day he is being carried further away from a successful voyage by the force of some contrary and opposing current. The poet means to say that he has little or no chance of ever getting to heaven, where his parents have reached. So he is in an utterly hopeless condition. Every day some untoward circumstances in life put him out of the way to salvation. So Cowper, as a poet, has this fear of not getting salvation in life, fear of not reaching heaven. So he is thinking of his various calamities and his madness, in particular, his problems, his mental ailment, his anxiety. He sometimes labored under the suspicion that an abandoned sinner he was. He thought of himself as a sinner because of his Christian religious beliefs. He could never have salvation. So these lines are expressive of Cowper's melancholy and despair. They express his melancholy, despair, anxiety, stress, the anxiety of not getting salvation, of not reaching heaven, not joining his parents after death. But oh, the thought that thou art safe, and he, that thought is joy, arrive what may to me. My boast is not that I deduce my birth from lions enthroned and rulers of the earth. But higher far my proud pretensions rise, the son of parents passed into the skies. And now farewell time unrevoked has run his wonted course, yet what I wished is done. By contemplation's help not sought in vain, I seemed have lived my childhood over again. To have renewed the joys that once were mine without the sin of violating thine, and while the wings of fancy still are free, and I can view this mimic show of thee, time has but half succeeded in his theft. Thyself removed, thy power to soothe me left. Cowper says that he does not care what might happen to him, whatever might be the course of his life, whether he gets salvation, whether he achieves salvation or not, it doesn't matter to him now. He is happy to know that at least his mother and his father are both safe and blessed in heaven. He is happy for his parents. He says that he does not boast that he is descended from a royal family. He is not proud to think of being a child of family connected with the royalty. Cowper was from a very good background, from a very advanced and from a very well-known family of England. He is proud to think that he is the son of parents who have attained heavenly bliss. It is not his family background and his upbringing that Cowper is proud of. Cowper is proud of the fact, proud of his religious belief, and proud of his religious belief that at least his parents after death have reached heaven. They are now in heaven and they are in perfect bliss. So this is a matter of happiness to Cowper. So he is proud to think that he is the son of parents who have attained heavenly bliss. The poet addresses the figure on the picture and says that although time has not been recalled and brought back, but has gone on its usual way, yet what he wished has been gained. It was his only wish that his parents may be granted a place in heaven. Cowper has had his wish of being in the company of his dear mother again. He has in imagination lived over his childhood again and enjoyed the sweets of his mother's love and affection. The poet says that by successfully rousing up and stretching his imagination, he seems to have been a child once more. He says he has once enjoyed the pleasures that he had enjoyed before in his childhood when his mother was alive. He is happy that he could do so without being guilty of the sin of disturbing his mother's heavenly bliss by calling her back from heaven in the world. He says that it would be wrong on his part to call his mother back on earth, because earth is full of sorrows, miseries, anxieties and stress and pain. So, and while in sharp contrast to it, heaven is full of perfect bliss and peacefulness. So it is better for his mother to remain in heaven rather than come back to earth. So the poet says that he is happy about this fact that she is now in perfect bliss. He is happy that he could do so without being guilty of the sin of disturbing his mother's heavenly bliss by calling her back from heaven into the world. The poet concludes that so long as he is able to indulge in fancy, and so long as he would possess that perfect portrait, he must say that time has but only partially succeeded in depriving him of her company and loving presence. The poet says that his mother's power to comfort him still remains in the picture, although there is no doubt in the fact that she has been taken away from him. The poet means to suggest that in times of distress he would be able to console himself by looking at his mother's picture, which he received as a gift from his cousin. So this is a matter of uh, happiness for Cowper, that he received his mother's picture as a gift from his cousin, and it became an occasion to remember his mother, and it proved to be a kind of catharsis for him, that by seeing the picture he remembered old memories, and he remembered all those things about his childhood, his time spent with his mother, the kind of affection and love which his mother used to shower on him as her son. And now the poet says that it has been quite a long time since she left the world, and it is better that it is better for Cowper not to call his mother back on earth, because she left earthly life long ago, and heavenly life is far, far better than earthly life. So is the case with his father. So now both his father and mother are in perfect bliss, in perfect peace, and free from earthly problems, worries, anxieties, pain, affliction, sorrows, everything. So the poet says that he is proud of the fact, he is proud of his religious belief and the fact that now his parents are in heaven, and he does not care about himself, that what will become of himself. Although in the beginning of the poem he is worried about his salvation, but by the end of the poem it seems that he has now uplifted himself from his anxiety. So the poem became a kind of a therapeutic device, a therapeutic source of catharsis for Cowper. So this is Cowper's poem on the receipt of my mother's picture, in which we can see the romantic strain coming into the poetry, because the poetry, Cowper's poetry, belongs to the age of sensibility, of transition period, when romanticism was gradually and slowly engulfing the poetry of these poets like William Cowper and William Blake. He came later, he came very late than these poets, but before Wordsworth and Coleridge. William Cowper, William Blake, William Collins, James Thomson, Thomas Gray. So these are the poets of the age of sensibility. A blend of classicism, a blend of neoclassicism and romanticism can be seen in their poetry. Their form was neoclassical, while the thought, the emotion in it was romantic in nature. And slowly and gradually, romanticism came in full swing with the publication of William Wordsworth's lyrical ballads. William Wordsworth and Samuel Taylor Coleridge's book, The Lyrical Ballads, in 1798, which is considered as the beginning of Romantic period. Although Romantic period had already begun with the arrival of French Revolution, that's another matter. So this is the poem which we have read of William Cowper's poem on the receipt of my mother's picture. I hope you understood, you got the point, and you understood the poem as well. You enjoyed reading it with me. Thank you.